What's up, gang? Welcome back to DizDad TV, and thank you once again for joining me here on the channel. I really do appreciate it. Today's another reaction video, and we are checking out the Disney Plus and Marvel series Hawkeye. This is episode 3, titled Echoes. If you want to check out my earlier reactions to this series, episodes 1 and 2, you can find those on the channel as well. You know, along with any other videos I end up posting, parks videos, Imagineering. Appreciate you guys checking those out. So jumping into today's episode, full disclosure, it was driving me crazy at the end of episode 2. If you caught that reaction, could not place for the life of me who that character was that we got a glimpse of there with the Tracksuit Mafia, where Kate and Hawkeye were captured. But then seeing the title for episode 3, it does lead me to believe this is the character Echo from the Daredevil universe. Don't know a ton about her, just a little bit from what I've read in the past. I do have a few Daredevil comics I've checked out over the years, but don't know a ton about her. But does raise a lot of questions for me. I wasn't expecting to see Matt Murdock in this series, and we may not. I was a huge fan of the Daredevil show on Netflix. Easily the best thing they did with the Marvel properties over there. So again, not sure we will see him. I know he was popped up in Spider-Man No Way Home briefly. There's been some rumors I know of him being in She-Hulk later this year, which makes some sense with his attorney background, but don't know that we'll see him, and if we do, maybe it'll be later on and probably briefly, but that would be amazing. But of course, bringing in Echo from that world raises, how many of those Daredevil characters are we going to see? I don't know how much of that universe will pop into this Hawkeye series. Not totally surprising, given this is New York. There's quite a few heroes battling crime in the area. Their paths are bound across, at various points, and they do in the comics. So not totally shocking to see her here, but it'll be interesting to see how she fits into the story. Diving into today's episode, I expect business to pick up quite a bit, with Kate and Hawkeye being captured. I'm guessing we'll see some kind of escape attempt maybe at some point. And of course, maybe get some background on, why Echo's involved with the Tracksuit Mafia. What interest does she have, in Kate and Hawkeye? All that being said. So looking forward to it, and let's just jump right into episode 3. 2007. I'm getting lots of flashbacks this series. It's like Marvel's like Oprah with flashbacks. You get a flashback, you get a flashback, you get a flashback. Maya. Okay, so this definitely is Echo. I do remember that from the comic. That was her name. Look at her studying these two.
But remember, for your match, it's more about speed than size. Uncle will take you home after class.
Who's Uncle? That couldn't have been Kingpin, was it? I know I mentioned the Daredevil reference, but opening up that world to this series, but that sounded like his laugh. Could that? I don't know. I'm so confused. Oh, it's Ronan. Okay, well there's your connection. So this would have been during the 5 years between Infinity War and Endgame. Oh, Ronan killed her dad. See, what's crazy is, the little bit we knew about Ronan from Endgame, the folks he was killing, it was all kind of out of sight, out of mind. We didn't know much about the people in Japan that he was killing, just that they were presumed bad guys. But now, seeing this, in the States and New York, and his ties to this character, it definitely puts a face on some of his deeds from that era. Trust a bro. Did you see the moving truck? Was that a moving truck that said trust a bro? That's too funny. That would be torture. It's bad enough to listen to that, but like to ride on one of those things over and over and over and over again. Bro. I don't know about you guys, but like every time I watch this now, I find myself saying bro, like throughout the rest of the day. I just can't help it.
I mean, look on the bright side. You don't have to go see Imagine Dragons.
Ouch. I guess Kate is not an Imagine Dragons fan.
Both apologies. Tell her she hurt your feelings, but apologize for...
I love that she's giving love advice to this guy, too, while she's tied up. That's pretty good. She spotted that hearing aid right away, didn't she?
By accident. She didn't know what it means. She's not Ronin. Look at her, she's 9. And spoiled rotten.
Again with the AIDS jokes.
So who got him then?
Oh. That is convenient. I guess in a way, obviously Ronan's not dead, but in a way, he wasn't lying, I guess, technically. Since Black Widow did stop him, but that was an interesting play on his part.
How did you do that? Chris!
Here we go. How long is she gonna end up sitting there? Nothing like a good toy fight, right? Ouch. Ugh. Oh. Ouch. Nice. All right. Now we're getting some Hawkeye action here. Getting the bow and arrow going. He is just taking dudes out. I love it. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Okay, that was nice. That was nice, Kate.
We need a car.
Oh, can we take this one?
Oh, wait. That Challenger was in the comic. Oh, but they're not going to take it?
Fast in a 72 challenge.
She wants to take it, too.
Come over here.
He can't hear a thing. Very cool camera work. And the Christmas music. Oh, this is perfect. And the Trust a Bro moving truck. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. Oh, what is that? Play-Doh. And it's purple too. Nice.
A lot easier if we were facing the other way.
You were facing the other way.
Communicating.
Not really communicating, but it works out, right? There goes the Trust a Bro van. Oh, not the Christmas trees. Again, with the Christmas season, it just gives you more things you can do with the sets. Oh, nice.
Sorry, Santa.
Ah, Santa. Oh, he pops right back up. This is great. This chase scene is so good. Like, you would never see this, you know, in an Avengers film, obviously. It's just not the setting for it, but this is just great. The camera work has been good. The action's good on this. Just great all the way around. Oh no, Kate. No. Leave the bow.
Thank you.
She will not let go of that bow, man. The car got damaged anyway.
Challenger gets totaled anyway.
Yes, indeed, Clint, indeed. Pym. No. What? What? Oh, that's awesome. That was amazing. That was so amazing. That was flashbacks to, what was it, Civil War? Him and Ant-Man working together. Oh, suction cup arrow. Comes in handy.
God, you really think so? I won't lie, I wasn't sure how I'd do it.
I just walk the dog.
You can't hear a thing she says, and they're just having two different conversations. Oh man, that was so good. That entire sequence was so good. Just everything and Rogers the musical. Has there been like an ad for that in every episode so far? I think we had the musical in the first episode, and then there's a commercial, I think, in episode 2, and now we get the billboard. So I guess we're going to get that little Easter egg throughout the series, I would assume. Yeah, he's not going to be home for movies tonight, are you, Clint? That's rough. It's just amazing, you know, these few episodes in, like how much more of Clint and Hawkeye we're getting to see. The price he's paid for, you know, Avengers, pre-Avengers, just all of that over the years. What it's done to him physically, you know, emotionally, the times he's missed. Wow.
Let's talk.
I agree. They probably have not learned the sign language.
No.
There's that uncle reference again. Okay. So her dad was into something. It was an auto repair shop, so Ronan obviously had a reason for going there. Doesn't make it right, but her dad was apparently into something illegal. I guess that may have been like a chop shop, something like that.
Block, delete.
That joke was so bad. The block and delete was warranted. That was definitely warranted.
Is that all done?
Oh, he just had it off. That's such like an old man move. You keep the hearing aid off so you can't hear anybody because you want to be left alone.
This is it. This is the moment I become who I'm supposed to be.
I remember the day I thought the same thing.
Also things you gain. Like trick arrows and a cool costume.
She's definitely got this idyllic view of being a hero, doesn't she?
Picture this.
Oh, no.
It's your job to keep their secret.
She knows.
I'm not a role model.
Wow. It's interesting how he sees himself and then how she sees him. Just the difference in their perceptions of what he is and what he stands for, what he's done. Although I do feel like she suspects that he's Ronan at this point. Or was Ronan, I guess. Oh, this dog is awesome. And I love that all the names were pizza-related names. That's just great.
Since we're after anything else at that auction.
I don't know. I was pretty focused on
Yeah, they were after that, what was it, the watch they were trying to get? Which is still a weird thing. They were going for that watch. It's a nice place. Nice place.
You see if there's anything on Kazi.
Again, the benefit of the mom with the security company comes in handy.
Don't move.
Is it Jack with the Ronin sword? These endings are getting me, man. The only downside to this not being a movie is you want these things to continue, but then they leave these cliffhangers on you until the next episode. Either way, that was a great episode. All right, so episode 3 is in the books, and I gotta say, as much as I've enjoyed the series to this point, although we're only 2 episodes in, this had to be my favorite episode by far. Really well done, mainly because of the action. Thoroughly enjoyed that, beginning to end, starting with the breakout there in was it KB Toys, deserted factory, whatever that was. That was pretty funny. We got some hand-to-hand combat between Hawkeye and the Tracksuit Mafia. A little bit there with Maya as well, aka Echo. So we got a little flash into her potential, her skills. hopefully we'll see more of that as the series progresses, which I assume we will. Then, of course, that led into some bow and arrow action from Hawkeye as well, which we got to get that. So it was awesome to see his skills in action. And then also, then the big finale of the action was the car chase. That was just so well done, really from the start to the finish. I can't pick any of that apart. It was just great to see. I don't know how they filmed that. It almost seemed like one camera, but I'm sure they had to do multiple takes, CGI, what have you, but it was pretty seamless, especially for a streaming show. So well done. And of course, I think I may have mentioned this in my reaction. You wouldn't see a car chase like that in an Avengers film. It's just not big enough for those type of movies. You're not going to see Thor, a drunk Thor, even riding shotgun with Hawkeye through the streets of New York. Although that might be pretty funny, I guess, now that I mention it. But you're not going to see that in an Avengers film. So it was really perfect for this type of show to see that car chase. Again, going through the streets of New York. We did see a little bit of Christmas with the Christmas tree lot. So again, Christmas really helping move this series along, theming-wise. All the various trick areas that Kate was figuring out. She and Hawkeye had a terrible time communicating because he can't hear a darn thing with his hearing aid being messed up. So watching them trying to communicate. We had the purplish color with a gas arrow, some type of Play-Doh or a goo arrow, whatever that might have been. So that little callback to the Hawkeye character was fun. And then, of course, capping it off with the PEM particles, making that arrow huge, destroying that truck or the van. Just a great finale to that scene. I don't know where he got the PEM particles from. I guess at this point, we're a little bit removed from Endgame, so I assume he's been in contact, either with Ant-Man or Hank Pym, who's back in play. So I would assume there's been some connection there where he's still got that. So again, really, really well done. Really enjoyed that action sequence. It took up a lot of the episode, but it was great to see that. And even with all that action in this episode, there were several big moments that popped out. Starting at the very beginning, we had the flashback. I think it was 2007, and we see a young Maya, aka Echo, both at school with her dad, also some sort of martial arts training. So we see her learning, see her dad talking to her, explaining to her how to survive and thrive in this world, even though she can't hear. And then we see that flash forward to current day, and we see those skills in action. So that was very interesting. And then, of course, we had several references to an uncle, both from Maya as well as Kazi, I believe was his name, who was with the tracksuits. We don't know who this uncle is. We did see an arm or a hand in one of the flashbacks. So there's no mention of who this uncle is. I'm assuming this is our big bad. And I'm guessing this is going to be Kingpin. Again, we don't know for certain. I know she comes from that Daredevil universe. She has some ties to Kingpin. Again, we saw just the hand in a suit, and there was a snippet of a voice that sounded just like Vincent D'Onofrio. So gotta believe that's Kingpin, or at least I'm hoping it is. It would be great to see him involved with this show in some way. Would make a lot of sense with this being New York, the organized crime. Going back to the first episode in the auction scene where they mentioned the Ronin character going through the streets of New York and organized crime. So this is all starting to tie together a little bit to see how this is making some sense story-wise. I don't know if we'll see Kingpin in the next couple episodes, or that'll be the finale, or how that'll work out, but I do hope we get a Vincent D'Onofrio sighting at some point. That would just be icing on the cake, even if we don't get Daredevil. To get that actor from the show would just be great to see. And of course, then there were a couple of poignant moments for the Hawkeye character. Phone conversation with his son where he can't hear anything because of the hearing aid issue, and Kate's doing the translating. Really just wanted him to be home for Christmas, which has been kind of a recurring theme, from the start. Once he sent the kids off, is he going to make it home for Christmas? I got to believe he's going to make it home by the end of the series. I have to believe that's going to happen. Get the happy ending. Maybe not. I guess we'll find out. But really touching to kind of see that. You see how much it impacts him. Obviously, I think we talked a little bit about in the first couple of episodes, how much he's missed of his family over the years, obviously during the snap, but even before the snap, when his work with the Avengers, with S.H.I.E.L.D., pre-S.H.I.E.L.D., he's been away for a while doing this type of work. So he's missed a lot, and he's wanting to be there. So you can see how much that bothers him at this point. He's, trying to do better, and it's really impacting him character-wise, not to be there. Also, that conversation when we see him and Kate sitting down in the restaurant, and the line comes out that he's not a hero, which has been, again, another recurring theme throughout these episodes since he and Kate have been together. She's held him up on a pedestal since that day in 2012. She's idolized him. Which is what she's trained for. And we've seen her on multiple occasions tried to build him up, talk him up. Even the second episode, trying to work on his branding, I think she said, when they were walking through the streets of New York. And even this episode, she's trying to get him a new costume so that people will recognize him and what he does. And you hear him say, again, I'm not a hero. He tries to downplay, what he's done, what the work is like, but again, she's still like, hey, cool costume, cool gadgets, all that. So that back and forth as you see him working through or trying to explain to her, what he does, the things he's been doing over the years, it's not that glamorous, and in many cases it's not that good. And she's still holding him to a much higher standard than I think he recognizes for himself, which is kind of an interesting mix to see them work through that on both sides, to see how they approach it and how that conversation progresses throughout the season and her thoughts on his actions. And obviously, I do think she realizes he was probably Ronin. He hasn't revealed that to her yet, but I would assume she knows. And I think he's starting to realize maybe she knows he is involved too much with trying to hide who Ronin is. So I think it's becoming more and more obvious to her that he was Ronin. So maybe we'll see, some shattering of that idolism that she has for him and what he stood for. So be watching for that in the next couple episodes as well. So wrapping all that up, going into the series, I really wasn't quite sure how to feel about, doing a Hawkeye-based series. Thought I would enjoy it. I usually enjoy most things Marvel, MCU. I think I'm enjoying this a lot more than I expected. Is it the best thing I've ever seen in my life? No. But 3 episodes in, it's been very entertaining, start to finish. Character choices, the character actors chosen, Haley Steinfeld, Jeremy Renner. Gotta believe, this Kate Bishop character, just based on her performance in the series so far, is going to get a bigger role in the MCU, or at least I hope she does, and not just on the streaming service. She's been fantastic. The interactions between her and Hawkeye, very funny, very poignant, really good stuff. Even the smaller scale actors here in the show, really well chosen for their parts. They've done a great job. The New York background, Christmas setting just really enhances the overall story and the vibe of the show. The music chosen, the action, this episode especially. I hope we get a lot more of that type of action in the next couple episodes. More bow and arrow action, please. Don't know that we need any more car chases, but any type of hand-to-hand combat, what have you. Love to see all that, just continuing on the next 3 episodes. And of course, this show is not quite on the scale of the previous 3 Marvel shows we've had on Disney Plus. Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Not quite the impact to the MCU with Hawkeye, of course. And that's okay. We don't need every show or movie to have that same monumental impact. But I'm enjoying this show just as much, if not more in some cases, as those previous 3 series, in all honesty. It's just a lot of fun. It's good to get some more background on the Hawkeye character. Meeting this new character, getting new settings. The stakes not quite as big, a little more low level, very reminiscent, of some of the Marvel shows on Netflix, where they're much more smaller scale as far as impact. So again, enjoying this, looking forward to the next 3 episodes, especially too when they had mentioned, the callbacks to the comics, very subtle, both old and new comics, I should say. We see some scenes from the Matt Fraction comics, the car, the chases, some scenes from the comics as well. Even going back to older comics, the old costume that Kate drew up, which was so bad. And Jeremy Renner said, hey, my wife would divorce me if she saw me in that. We get the purple arrows, all of that. Again, the whole package is just really well done with this series, top to bottom. Looking forward to the second half, where we go from here, whatever new surprises they can throw at us. I'm here for it. So I hope you guys are as well. Leave your comments, to this point in the series, what you've thought to these first 3 episodes, anything big that stood out to you, what you're looking forward to, or what you did look forward to this point in the series. Interested to hear that. And with all that being said, let's wrap this up. Ready to jump into episode 4, and we'll see you guys then.